Hello and welcome back to another episode of Teaching Partner. Case study learning is an instructional method that involves the analysis and discussion of real life situations or scenarios. Implementing case study learning involves several steps and considerations. Here are some key steps to implement case study learning effectively. By following these steps and incorporating relevant examples, you can effectively implement case study teaching methods and create an engaging and interactive learning experience for your students. Step number 1. Select relevant and engaging case study. Choose case studies that align with your learning objective and topic for your course. The case study should be relevant, engaging, and provide opportunities for critical thinking and problem solving. For example, in a business management course, you could select a case study that focuses on a real life company facing challenges in marketing strategy. This case study would allow students to analyze the company's situation, identify key issues, and develop marketing solutions. Step number 2. Introduce the case study. Present the case study to students, either through reading materials, videos, or other multimedia formats. Provide background information about the case and set the context for the students. For instance, you could provide a brief overview of the company, its industry, and the specific challenges it is facing. This introduction will help students understand the context and relevance of the case study. Step number 3. Define learning objectives. Clearly define the learning objectives for the case study. What specific knowledge, skills, or competence do you want students to develop through the case study? Communicate these objectives to the students. For example, the learning objectives for the marketing case study could include developing skills in market analysis, strategic thinking, and problem solving. Clearly communicate these objectives to the students so they understand what they are expected to achieve. Step number 4. Group or individual work. Decide whether students will work on the case study individually or in groups. Both approaches have their benefits, so choose the one that best suits your teaching goals and the dynamic of your class. For instance, you could assign students to small groups to promote collaboration and teamwork. Alternatively, you could have students work individually to encourage independent thinking and analysis. Consider the size of your class, the available resources, and the desired learning outcomes when making this decision. Step number 5. Analyze the case study. Encourage students to analyze the case study thoroughly. They should identify key issues, gather relevant information, and consider different perspectives. This analysis can be done through discussions, brainstorming sessions, or written reflections. For example, students could discuss the challenges faced by the company, gather data on market trends, and analyze the strengths and weaknesses of the company's current marketing strategy. This analysis will help them develop a deeper understanding of the case study. Step number 6. Facilitate discussions. Engage students in discussions about the case study. Encourage them to share their insights, ask questions, and challenge each other's ideas. As the facilitator, guide the discussions and provide guidance when needed. For instance, you could ask open-ended questions to stimulate critical thinking and encourage students to consider different perspectives. You can also provide additional information or resources to support their analysis and discussions. Step number 7. Encourage critical thinking. Case study learning is an opportunity for students to develop critical thinking skills. Encourage them to think critically, evaluate evidence, consider alternative solutions, and justify their reasoning. For example, you can ask students to evaluate the pros and cons of different marketing strategies, consider the potential risks and benefits, and make evidence-based recommendations. Encourage them to think beyond surface-level solutions and explore the underlying factors and implications. Step number 8. Provide guidance and feedback. Throughout the case study learning process, provide guidance and feedback to students. Offer support, clarify concepts, and provide constructive feedback on their analysis and proposed solutions. For instance, you can provide feedback on their analysis, challenge their assumptions, and guide them towards deeper insights. Offer suggestions for improvement and encourage them to revise their work based on the feedback provided. Step number 9. Reflect and debrief. At the end of the case study, facilitate a reflection and debriefing sessions. Encourage students to reflect on what they have learned, how the case study relates to real life situations, and what insights they have gained from the experience. For example, you can ask students to share their key takeaways, discuss the practical applications of the concept learned, and reflect on their growth throughout the case study. This reflection and debriefing session will help consolidate their learning and provide closure to the case study. Finally, step number 10. Assess students' learning. Assess student learning based on the defined learning objective. Use a variety of assessment methods such as written assignments, presentations, or group discussions to evaluate students' understanding and application of the case study concepts. For example, you can assign a written report where a student analyzes the case study, propose solutions, and justify their recommendations. You can also assess their understanding through class presentation or group discussions where they present their analysis and engage in critical thinking. By following these steps and incorporating relevant examples, you can effectively implement case study teaching methods and create an engaging and interactive learning experience for your students. So that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope this video is very useful for you. So thank you very much. If you have any question, query, or you need any support for making a decision, don't hesitate to write an email to theteachingpartner@gmail.com. Thank you very much and see you in the next video. Goodbye.